Okay, so let's test this and see if it works. Oh, I think we do.
My fate is a cruel one, I assure you. How many snot-noses have held me up against their dirty little ears, only to claim they can hear the ocean? Of course they can hear her, the brats! We are on the very edge of the great aquatic mother, whose embrace I so desperately long for. Yes, yes, I, King of Pearls, ache to repose anew on his coral throne. Hurl me toward the water, swing me as far as your arm's strength gives lease, and treasure long sunk I will grant thee. What do you say, kind knight? Will you return the King of Pearls to the sea, so he may yield you long-lost treasure?
Agreed. Let's send him home.
Liberator, kind benefactor, bless me the might of your sea-bound bitch. The sea,
Hello.
sea, I have returned, where every wave feels like a mermaid's kiss. May the bounty of the deep be yours, along with my eternal gratitude.
So yeah, so this is Divinity Original Sin. I'm just turning my headphones down a little bit so I can hear myself talk. So this is real old school. Although it's a few years old, but I just finished. Yeah, I was still talking to the shell. So yeah, the shell and I were having a conversation. This is not what I need to do. I need to go to equipment, I think. There we go. So I've just gone back. I'm going to go back to a town, I think, if I can find my way back there. So yeah, so it's kind of old school isometric. So I can zoom in, but I can't change the angle of the camera. All I can do is spin it around. So it's kind of top down, old school RPG. Look at my map. Where's the... Oh, it's over to my left. Okay. Just around the corner here.
Well, we're all old as the gods of Rage, now.
So I really only kind of did a little bit of playing around on this last night, so I've not really done very much at all, apart from like a very early training dungeon. Yeah, let's go back to the harbour.
Slimy, reeking, rotting sea garbage.
But the beauty of games like this is they can get loads of detail. Oh, how do I get to that? There's a hatch there, look. I didn't spot that last night. So there must be a way down there. Pretty sure I can't just walk off there. No, it doesn't let you do things like that. Yeah. Definitely some kind of hatch to get there. So yeah, so I'm in a little town, and you'll see as I walk up to the building, so the door's locked, I can't actually get in it at this point. but you get to see inside the buildings as you walk up close to them. So all of these doors are locked by the looks of it. Yeah. Don't know that I've got. Yeah, I'm not. I don't think I'm clever enough to pick the lock, so I need to walk through the town anyway. So basically, there's two adventurers, and we're like special investigators. We've come to investigate a murder, but I've got to go to find the town's leader. Although I've got a little side quest. I set up last night in this pub, so I might go back in the pub and see if I can find him. It's just what's... Oh, okay, it's just the location. Elgander's room, so there's a room over here somewhere. So you don't actually walk upstairs. So I've now gone upstairs. That's going upstairs. You don't actually walk up them. So that's locked. And you can talk to anyone.
I'm telling you, a necromancer must have been at work in Sicil. How else do you explain risen dead sprouting like mushrooms in the night?
In the night, by the
This town has seen better days, but despite it all, we'll always have the sea.
And then my phone rings. It's alright, I'm not gonna... I think it's a cold call. So where is he then? That one's locked. So where is this guy? So I can steal stuff and...
By the filed teeth of Suruma Soul Shredder, the end is nigh. Death comes a-creeping for you, Victoria!
Maybe it's that guy I need to go and talk to that's shouting. Oh, here he is.
You have come, yes. That is most satisfactory. Begone, brittle mask of age. Hear me now repeat the words of Brittletooth, the child snatcher of Carador. Come, play with me, for I'm hungry. Come, play, play, play. My name is Eglandir Twilsalanar, elf of the House of Gandavum, the slaughtered House of Gandavum. But by the twin blades of the Shadow Vixen, I shall have my revenge. The walls of memory are stained with blood, and I would see them bloodier still. The game, yes! A game of blood and brutality, of death and dexterity. Fun as herring the horror harlequin. But, like the serpentine stalker hisses before the stab, hush now. Darkness, darling. Hush, hush, and listen to my tale. The elves of Gandavum, they lived in peace. Oh, yes. But one night, when the moon had hid her face, the orcs of the tribe of Kazuldagar beset our city. They cooked and ate and burned every last one of us. The light of dawn never saw an elf of Gandavum no more. All undone. Every last one of us. Except for me, the midnight rambler, away from the city. I was very old back then already, though indeed I whisper of many years hence. death shall not find me. Oh no, not until every beast of Kazaldagar has been bled. I may be frail, a withered grey, but the wealth of kings is mine. Countless assassins have ministered to the vengeance that is my want, and now is almost over. By Kala, Lady of the Last Gaze, I swear it is almost done. Only the very last one of the Kazaldagar still eludes me. The crowning kill that would seal its fate and mine alike. I have tracked her down by the curse of the spine spear I have. She does not know her ill-shapen sun is setting fast. Color the dusk red, O sword of youth. Bloody the day with the bramble sap that runs through the veins of Victoria. Bring me the amulet that clings to her flesh, soon to fade. And yours shall be the bounty of vindication. Mine shall be its sanguine satisfaction after long, long last. Yes, Victoria. She is the one whose heart must be held in hand. The heart around which the fingers of that hand must clench and tighten until its choking flesh bulges with blood and its beat slowly breaks. The orcs of Gazuldagar, they knew my name. Oh yes, by the bite of the roving rattler, they knew my design. And so they sought to save their last, an infant, she who was to be queen. To no avail, oh no. Years, how many I know not. Years I searched, and now she has been found. Her name is that of a woman, her employment that of a civilized being. But by the fork of Barbara Man-Eater, she is nothing but an orc, a cyst of nature, one of a misbegotten litter dragged into life from the tumoured womb of a filthy, coarse-haired beast that was humped like a dog in the darkness of a stinking hollow. Victoria, librarian, daughter, adopted child of Cecil, Mayor of Sicile. There is bloodlust in you. I can feel it. Let it out. Set it free. Undo the last of the Kazuldagar. By the breasts of Sishara Goatsucker, give me my revenge!
Okay, so that's me getting a quest. Oh, I think we can talk to each other. There's like a... If I can get anywhere near him. Come on, Roderick, settle down. Oh, no, I didn't want to lie down.
That was quite the radical change we witnessed. I never would have thought that the benign old man we met outside would turn out to be a vengeance-driven aficionado of assassins.
Victoria!
Indeed, Victoria probably doesn't even know about her past. And yet she's on a, let's call him eccentrics, hit list.
Oh yeah, this is text heavy. I mean, that was nothing compared to some of the stuff I did last night. Yeah, let's go back downstairs. Okay. So let's go and find the mayor of the town. I think it is. I've got to go and talk to.
Let's see. Halibut, sheep's cheese, tomatoes.
So I think I'm heading in the right direction if I go this way. I think he's...
I could have had a new lamb by now if that Bruce had taken to a woolly lass instead of that heifer.
Yeah, so that's where I need to go. So I think I can track the marker and that'll help point me in the right direction. Okay, there we go.
Portions to be muscle you.
What's this building here then? We can go in this. Oh, it's a shop.
Oh, I'm no hero, Esmeralda dearest. I'm just doing my duty, you know. For the Legion.
Okay, so I won't get too dragged into conversations here yet. But obviously I will do at some point, because that's the way the game works. Oh, I can't go that way, so I'm going to have to go around the other side of this house, I think. I can talk to chickens as well. I've got some skill that lets me, I can catch up with them. Here you go.
I'll figure out who murdered Jake before the day's through. Just you wait. Detective Kip is on the case.
There you go, talk to a chicken. I'm guessing they're like training those guys. Another building here I'm going to, so what's this?
Step aside! Step aside! This maniac's gonna turn me into a meat pie!
Come on, chicken, chicken, chicken.
Yes, let's pardon him. Just look at the little blighter. He doesn't deserve the knife.
Yippee-ki-yay! I'm free! I'm free! So long, suckers!
Why did you let my chicken escape?
He's actually legging it off. Look.
These stores are for our Legion troops. Riverland's finest wake up mighty fine.
Oh, well, let me talk to him now.
So you've half a brain behind that feral maul, have you?
The cretin's question crossed her lips and aped an air of aptitude.
Hey, Tull, I think
Sorry,
that was
sir.
an insult.
Don't pay attention to the beast, Various. You'll only encourage it. Hey, who's that then? Come on, stand where my good eye can see you.
Easy, Tull. That's the source hunter you're talking to.
She may have the look of a woman if you squint hard enough, but she's no more than a wild animal. We got reports of a strange-looking outsider skulking through the town with her bow drawn. I found her crouched behind a tree, taking aim at a fat old rat trotting along the city walls. I tapped her on the shoulder to see what was what, and the beast startled like a wild cat and lunged right at me.
Bit Tull you right in the face, she did. It wasn't pretty, and now it's got a chunk ripped off it to boot.
Enjoy it while you can, Ver. There's not another legionnaire in the cohort that'll have you if I go rabid.
Okay, so you can...
Well, that's to be decided. She doesn't seem to be sick, despite Tully's moaning. We can't keep her here forever, but we can't well send her into the wilds again, can we?
Sicilian stew, again!
Oh, so this is me getting a new character, I think.
After all, a fearless hunter might prove quite useful for our investigation.
Well, that's a relief, ain't it? We found a good home for her after all, Tull.
Private. Sir, no, sir! Those boats will embarrass a bridge crew. Get to side
Heed me, Source Hunter. She's not good for anything more than cannon fodder. And don't turn your back on her when she's got that bow within arm's reach.
Okay, so I've got a new...
Source Hunter. I have heard tales both grand and terrible about the world of humans. I myself was caged one moment and freed the next by our kind. In Home Forest, every creature acts according to the nature of its kind. Birds frighten easily, badgers fear little. But amongst men, there are no guarantees.
recruits! That was sloppier than Sicilian stew. Again! Attention!
It is difficult for me to claim humanity as you do. I am still learning to see myself in the faces of those I meet. And those I meet do not always see themselves in me. It is strange to stand with one foot in the forest and the other in the city, Source Hunter. I am glad that now I have you standing beside me.
Okay, so I've got a new party member basically by doing that, by freeing her, which is quite cool.
Those boots will embarrass a bridge troll. Get to shining recruits.
Sorry, sir.
So it says something about the radio mandor.
Sir, no, sir.
Oh, okay, this is just the... I can group them together, I think. So I could just... So this is the building, but it doesn't look like I can get in... Oh, there's a door.
Sorry, sir.
Yeah, this is the guy I got to talk to.
What
Okay.
have we here, then? A so-called source hunter, eh? Well, look, do what you must in Sicil, but don't make waves and don't interfere with the Legion's affairs, you hear? I'm Captain Aureus, if you must know, leader of the Legion in Sicil, by which I mean I have the enviable task of commanding a battalion of walking dead. For I fear it may well be but a matter of time before the undead undo all my soldiers and turn them into drivelling hordes of their own misshapen number. Gods above! Some politician snuffs it and everyone's in an uproar. Ridiculous! I told that wizard brat of an Ahu not to bother, but he just had to send for source hunters, didn't he? Bloody magicians. They see a pigeon poop and think sorcery's afoot. Nevertheless, I want to be kept in the loop. Understand? I am in command of this town, not Mayor Cecil, not Ahu, and definitely not some hotshot source hunter. So investigate Jake's death if you feel so inclined, but report back to me the moment you discover something out of the ordinary. The scene of the crime is over at the King Crab Inn. You can tell the guard you have my permission to enter. Now off with you! Esmeralda is Jake's wife. Well, widow. Everyone in town, down to the crabs on the beach, is convinced she killed him. Now, the girl has the reputation of being a flirt. There is that. But that doesn't suffice as evidence, wouldn't you say? Or do source hunters rely on hearsay alone, perhaps? That certainly would explain some of the cock-ups you lot have made in the past. What? You're going to stand there and claim with a straight face your order never wrongly tortured and executed anyone? Hardly. But I won't stand for such nonsense. If you bring evidence before me, I'll evaluate it with perfect objectivity. The Legion relies on reason, see? Not idle superstition. Whom would you have the Legion arrest? The elf. What in the name of Ahu's arse should I arrest him for?
It's true. He is a dangerous lunatic and needs to be incarcerated.
So, he wants you to kill that savage the mayor calls his daughter, does he? Hardly seems a crime to do so. But I guess I cannot allow assassinations to take place. I won't arrest him unless I have some actual evidence, though. Or did you think I'd simply take your word for fact? As I suspected. Oh, if you must. Bravo! Figured that one out, did you? I hadn't been stuck here for 2 years because we're being besieged by fluffy kittens, you know. Those brain-feasting freaks out there keep on coming. And it takes all the sword arms and all of Ahu's half-baked contraptions to keep them at bay. Keeping them at bay, that is all we do. Were that I could break their backs once and for all. How am I enjoying it? Are you spoiling for a fight, Hunter? Are you? Sicil stinks of fish, reeks of orcs, and on a good day the wind disperses the stench of decomposing corpses. I can't remember the last time I had a proper piece of steak, and by now I retch at the mere sight of sardines. So in conclusion, I am not enjoying Sicil. We are the pride of Rivalon, To be found and to be seen everywhere. We don't hide in the dark and lurk in corners like some I could mention. No, we protect the civilized from the barbaric, and we do so impeccably.
I'm just going to try something. So, I think there's a way. So, just see what this looks like. Hasn't changed anything. Okay.
I'd say they're looking for weak spots in our defenses. They can't make an attack over land for fear of Ahu's magical machines, so they're trying their luck by sea. They won't succeed, though. Not against the Legion. Yes, and he also spends most of his time in the guise of a cat, licking God's knows which body parts. Sects, sorcerers. He'll be seeing flying carpets next.
So there's somebody else to talk to here, I think.
I hope your quest fares well, dear hunter. But certainly. What would you like to know?
So I think this guy like builds machines and stuff, I think.
Oh, I am but a wizard. A guardian of man and beast. And indeed, I am both. My body, like any other, is bound to temporal decay. But my spirit is a speck of light that shone forth from the eternal sun that is the cosmic soul. My task upon this earth is to protect the heart of nature, the very antithesis of which is the intrigue spun by demons and directors of the dead. Hence my involvement in Sicil. You see, my one desire is to witness a world in which every mother looks around her and purrs with calm contentment, for she knows that her chicks or children, her cubs or calves, will grow up without knowing the meaning of menace, the enfeeblement of fear. To my great regret, none of them purr as yet. Oh, but that's not a trick. It's a blessing. Or does it surprise you that I enjoy taking a feline guise? Such magic is a gift, hunter. To tread upon the realm of instinct, even articulate speech, perhaps humanity's greatest asset, cannot give expression to something so inextricably innate.
It's
To
not
be
the guy I
out
thought it
in
was.
the night, to stalk on silent paws and but of
I've had this
course it's handy to speak in more than meows. And I couldn't brew potions or make machines without opposable thumbs, this I freely admit. Let's just say I have found a way to enjoy the best of two worlds. Oh, that'll never happen. Granted, a witch could make the polymorph permanent if she'd enchant me in my cat guise, but I'll just have to be careful around witches, won't I? I'm my own wizard, you know, and I don't intend to become anyone's familiar. By all means. Of course. I hope your investigation fares well. I can but piece together what few morsels fell from the grapevine into a rather disappointing meal, I'm afraid. They say a woman arrived in the King Crab Inn sometime after midnight. She retired to a room on the ground floor where she was soon joined by a man who had been nursing the same cup of wine for hours. I say man and woman because both of them were cloaked and recognized by none. About an hour later, another figure arrived, headed for the same room. Soon after, a terrible commotion erupted and the thundering light of magic was witnessed by the few remaining patrons. It took a while for the landlord to pluck up the courage to enter the mystery room. When finally he did, he found Jake there, dead. How and why he came to be there, no one knows. But I had a good look around the scene of the crime before the Legion barred anyone from entering. The traces of magic I felt were vile. Source, no doubt. I myself have none, even though the rest of the town has already mentally tried and convicted Jake's wife, Esmeralda. Now, it may well be established that she is in fact the guilty party. I'm not claiming that I'm certain she's innocent, but let's just say that if I really thought this murder case would be so very easily resolved, I wouldn't have sent for source hunters. I can't say much more, but that they're madmen, all the more dangerous to us because of their alliance with what should be a natural enemy. You won't see me teaming up with a terrier in a hurry. And what might those be? One of them failed? Who is the mongrel that dares to question my engineering expertise? I take it the mutt in question was referring to the Sparkmaster 5000. It isn't failing, it just became... well, it became self-aware.
I know, it's the guy I thought it was.
Frightfully annoying when that happens. You know what? Here's the remote access device with which I used to control it. There's a manual for that somewhere around here, too. Yours, if you can find it. I really should invite Victoria one of these days, so she can help me organize my mess of a library. Those who are raising the dead dwell among us. They simply must be. But even though I've spent many a night leaping from tree to rooftop, watching on as citizens stagger home from the inn or simply burn the midnight oil, I haven't spied a single soul worthy of true suspicion.
So I should probably make it clear at this point this guy turns himself into a cat.
The enemy is wily. They know us better than we know them, and they've found ways to avoid both detection and distrust. Yet I am somehow convinced that you may succeed where the Legion and I have failed. Call it instinct. You have a flair for understatements, Hunter. I'm sure they are but a minor nuisance in the eyes of a born warrior. But to the Legion, they are green-skinned death incarnate. Until they conclude what mischief they intend to see through, or, less likely, they are conclusively defeated, we can but bar the gates and hole up like mice while the cats are on the prowl. Oh, a mere trifle for one with the intellect of a feline and the engineering skills of a human. You basically construct a classic ballista, add a 100% legally obtained self-regenerating source of destructive magic to it, and Bobcat's your uncle.
Ooh, something's happened to my traits. Okay, I don't really understand what any of that means, to be honest. I'm still very... Actually, I might go and just have a look at... her, so... Ooh, so I think she needs a weapon, doesn't she? So she's a marksman, I think. So let's give her a.
You there! Cut it out!
Okay, so I've got to try and find this manual that. So there's loads of stuff to nick in here, basically. Oh, there we go. So I can have that.
Now this is valuable.
That's what he said I could have. Okay. So yeah, so I'm not into. I can sneak about, I think. All of that. Come out of here. So I think there's some other people to another person to recruit. I think around here somewhere.
Sorry, sir.
Let's move back to being Scarlet.
Did someone leave an oven door open? Warm as dragon's breath.
So why has it suddenly got hot? Oh, that's right. It must be. Oh, we got a bunch of XP for that. So I think there's somewhere.
Careful now. You'll have grown more swollen and saffrons, I dare say.
There must be another building I can get into, I think. I think there's another character I can recruit. I was doing a little bit of reading last night, but not quite sure where they are. So this is the one I can't get into.
Well, what's this I've spotted?
The earth here seems to have been freshly fertilized and aerated. Obviously, someone has taken great care to maintain this gravesite.
And a disgrace to whomever is maintaining this gravesite, too.
You step away from the grave.
So I think we'll go in here. Let's go in here. So where are we? Siron's House of Healing. So this is like a hospital by the sounds of it.
So, which of you is more deserving of life? Excuse me? This is a private sick room. Who in the name of the Sevens you think you are barging in here?
out! I'm sorry. It's this task. I'm just... Who am I to meddle with life and death this way? I'm an apprentice of the healing arts. Healing! But this decision feels like precisely the opposite. I have but one healing stone, you see, and 2 direly wounded men who need it.
Questing coming, I think, to find a healing stone.
I've been racking my brain trying to decide on the best method to settle this grave situation. But perhaps it's better off in the hands of an esteemed source hunter. Surely you are more accustomed to weighing life and death than I. What would you like to know? One of the brave few willing to traverse the trade routes plagued by the undead. A young man, but excellent in matters of business, before he fell victim to an orcish club in the north, that is. Thankfully for him, a cattle trader found him, nearly dead, but not quite so, and brought him here straight away. Quite the venerable staple of Syceel, Stephen, and recently blessed with his 3rd grandchild. He was leading a crew of builders when a stray beam struck him in the temple, and only a few days shy of his last day of work before retirement, no less. Nearly everyone in Syceel is familiar with Grinning Stephen, and, as you can imagine, he's quite dear to his family. Yes, a curious relic indeed. I got it from a kindly abbot, Loic by name, in the northern town of Silver Glen. He is of a certain faith, the Immaculates, they call themselves, that espouses the belief that certain stones can heal wounded flesh. I myself was nothing if not skeptical of his claims, but something happened as he handed me the stone. A small cut on my finger instantly healed, leaving no trace of the wound. Needless to say, I was astounded. But it's strange. The stone is only good for a single use at a time before it reverts to a useless, inert state. It takes time to regain its magical properties, and I guard it cautiously. You are? I thank you a million times for your help. Who have you decided should receive the healing stone?
Yes, Boris deserves to experience all the pleasures of life that Stephen has already enjoyed.
Boris it is? Yes, I'll deliver the stone. I'm glad we'll get to save one man, but my heart breaks for the other.
Well, I haven't chosen to save poor Boris. So it's Stephen.
The corpse's troubled mind. Could have gone far.
No, this is highly abnormal. What is this? This lightning?
Oh, what happened there? Have I just got killed?
What happened? Is this a dream?
I don't think so. That stone, somehow it sent us flying into the stars.
So I've ended up in some... So I think you might be about to see what the fighting's like. Potentially.
Terrible,
or maybe not, maybe not.
Terrible! It will consume us all. By the quill that lasts a billion words, what's this? 2 Rivalonians here? At the end of space and time? How very, very, very curious. Oh, yes, proper introductions. Zixex, the historian at your service. It is my job to record all that was, and is, and hopefully all that is to be. As for how I got here, well, for a historian appointed by the gods themselves, hopping to the end of time is as easy as 1, 2, How you got here, though? That's a rather more interesting question. On such a tiny and rapidly shrinking vestige of space and time, I wouldn't have expected to find a soul but my own shadow. Ah, at last a question I can answer most definitively. I mentioned already that this place is the end of time. If that didn't send your heart into your stomach and your pulse a-flutter, it should have. Time ought naturally to have no end at all. Indeed, I can think of no worse nightmare for a chronicler such as myself. But something totally, utterly terrible has happened. Show, don't tell, I always say. So go, peer through yonder looking lens and feast your soon-to-be terrified eyes on the darkness that is approaching.
That imp may be quite mad.
Then we had better appease him and have a look through the looking lens.
You saw. Terrifying, isn't... What's this? The portal. It's... The portal has become active. Fantastic. Astounding. Onward we should go.
Just make sure there's nothing interesting to take from here.
It's quite sprung to life, just like the long, dormant flames that decorate this observatory. After all my waiting and hoping, could it be? You, dear stranger, you must be the key. Something about your presence here is causing the end of time to grow. The true end itself to move further away. Those torches, alight! This portal active once more. It cannot be coincidence. Goodness me, how right you are. There's so much to take in, I'd nearly forgotten. And what you saw has been haunting my mind since I first discovered it. It is the void itself. The dragon that is devouring creation. When I speak of the end of time, this is exactly what I mean. I can't say for sure where it came from, how or why, but I do know this. It's shrinking our future by the second. And if we don't stop it, it will devour the past and present as well. It's not that I believe, it's that I have seen. Long have I been waiting here, hoping that one day this very portal would ignite. Then, no longer than a few mere moments after you arrive, zap it goes. The chronicler of time knows a pattern when he sees one. Ah, though I cannot say for certain, if it is what I believe, then our prayers might well be answered. In fact, every last question that ever plagues your noggin might well be answered, for I believe what lies beyond this portal is nothing other than... But why spoil the mystery? As soon as we leap through, we'll find out for certain. After you, after you. Oh, what wonders we may find on the other side. You first, but don't dilly-dally.
And he's off!
It seems the imp has spotted exactly who and what he'd hoped to find here.
Could it be, milady? The weaver of time? Mother of history? Author of all that has ever been?
Indeed, Sir Imp. As surely as you are he who chronicles all that I weave.
Astounding! Unbelievable! I have so many questions for you, so much to ask, so much to say.
You have brought guests, I see. Strange. Very strange guests.
My reaction exactly, milady. It was their arrival here at the end of time that instigated my finding you. But why? Surely you must know.
This is a question better put to our guests themselves. Tell us, how did you arrive upon this plane? A stone. So, it was a stone that caused the great shock of energy that brought you here, and it infused you with new life as well. Is that so? Not like this, no. What happened to you is unique in all my work. Never had I experienced something so contrary to my nature. To weave something I had not seen, had not expected. Life does not simply spring into existence, you see, but yours has. You appeared before me from the moment you came into contact with that stone. Starstone. I now know it to be called.
But, Madam Weaver, how is it possible? Do you not see all? Have you not woven all that is and could ever be into your tapestry?
Like the stones, your guests are a mystery to me. I see them before me in this world, but their likenesses appeared not upon my tapestry until they revived the stone. Source hunters. It would seem that yourselves and Starstone are inextricably linked. Why and how, I cannot say, but I do believe that finding more stones will reveal to me who you yourselves truly are. Starstone is not what it seems, Source Hunter. Its true nature must be part of a greater secret, a secret lost, even to me. Do you see what violence my work has suffered? What wounds lay upon the tapestry of time?
Mysteries of all time, gaps in history. Oh, how they've tormented me for eons.
It would appear that Starstone transforms at your touch, granting me new thread by which to mend the tapestry. Thus, it restores time itself.
I see. What the void would shrink, Starstone restores.
Yes. Though I cannot explain why this Starstone is the antidote to the void's ravishment of our realm. If we do not restore time, if we do not discover the true nature of these stones, the void will consume us all. Indeed you must. Though I may not yet understand why, it seems that you and you alone can unlock the powers within Starstone. Yet we are not the only entities who know these stones to be so much more than pretty gems.
Why, of course, that's what they were doing. I have recorded their doings, you see. Collectors of Starstone, more and more by the day. Now I understand. They'd keep the stones from our reach. They'd prevent the mending of time.
Without these stones, Hunter, there will be no Rivellon. The entire tapestry will crumble. Even this plane will fall victim to the void's insatiable hunger.
That shall never be, milady. As sure as Zix comes before Zax, we will put a stop to it. First we mend the tapestry, then we stop the void. Please, our most mysterious guest, are you ready? Are you willing? Will you hunt out the stones? Will you help us restore what has been lost?
Not but a moment ago we were hunting Source in Rivellon, and now we're being told that we alone can prevent the end of time by way of some magical stones. What do you make of it?
For you if you're up to the challenge.
No matter how improbable, anything is possible. If the Weaver tells the truth, we have some serious work ahead of us.
So, how the hell do we get back?
The glint in your gaze and the set of your brow suggest to me that you've not given up on our dear old Rivellon. Not just yet. No, with you searching out Starstone, I believe we'll mend the tapestry in no time. We'll find out just who you are and how exactly to send the void back to wherever it came from. But you'll need a way to travel between Rivellon and this homestead, won't you? Who wouldn't want to see what fantastic changes your search will yield? And who knows what the Weaver might discover about you? Luckily, the power of portals is known to you, so I'll let you in on the little secret of how to transport back and forth from the end of time. Just, don't go sharing it around. Never know who we can trust these days. Off you go, then. You've Starstone to find, and I've a tapestry to examine. Surely there must be some clue here as to how on earth you're related to the end of time.
Cross my heart, hope to fade in the void, I honestly don't know. But ask her. If she claims it is so, perhaps she knows why.
Like the imp said to the ballista operator, shoot! Wouldn't it just? Would that I had a Starstone sightseeing guide, but alas, such a booklet does not exist. Just like yourselves, Starstones are curiously absent from history, both in my writings and on the Tapestry of Time. From what I can gather, though, they were once cherished by devious sorcerers whose reign ended long ago. The stones are therefore most likely to be found in the ancient places of this world. Ruins, caves, the lairs of long-forgotten evils. Those are the dens you should frequent. 2 more pieces of advice. Don't go unarmed, and consult with my agent. Neither do I, but the mere fact that activated Starstone has set the Weaver of Time weaving again more than implies that it and the Void Dragon are natural enemies. This in turn more than implies that you are the Void's natural enemy, for it is you who is setting new events in motion. You who is handing the Weaver new threads. And that which she is weaving is more than an ornament to decorate the shelter plane. It is both history and future history. It is all of time. We may not understand the how yet, but our aim is clear. We shall save creation from the grip of the void. Now, isn't that a lovely mission? Oh, I don't know if I'm more than those things per se, but having been given a divine mission does have its perks. Old age can't touch me, that's one. Immortality is mine as long as no one skewers me with a sword, and even then I'll be back in a jiffy. But of course I have a price to pay for something that is priceless. It is my duty to record all of history, and an arduous task that is. Not to mention how much stress that void out there is causing me. The end of time. I'll be out of a job. So, gather those starstones so that we may know the history that was lost. Know so that we must not repeat what leads us to this dangerous precipice, but do better and close the dark eye of the void forever.
I've obviously stumbled across the main quest, I think.
Lonesome, observing the frontier of creation, surfing the vibrant tide of the eons, always approaching yet never reaching shore. Lonesome, being privy to all that has been and all that is. Well, yes, actually. I don't mean to complain, but one certainly doesn't mind a bit of company now and then. Perhaps you can imagine the profound pleasure it is to have made the Weaver's acquaintance after all these years. I can hardly wait to pick her brain about the great battle of the Sons of Sigurd. The last Rivalonian who remembers it died more than 7,000 years ago. Before you go, Source Hunter, a final word. Once you return to Rivalon, there will be someone waiting for you. My agent, my eyes and ears upon your world. I hope he'll be able to help you as much as he can. Time, I need hardly remind you, is of the essence.
How welcome you are upon this realm, our most honored guest. I hope you begin to find this place more familiar than it may yet seem. In the ethereal threads of eternity, do I record the deeds of gods and men, of beasts and spectral apparitions, the drift of continents through changing seas, the rise and fall of empires, the shift of every grain of sand on every beach, the fall of every raindrop on every world, the all but imperceptible touch of lovers' hands. This and all I chronicle without fault. Except, it seems, you. Ask and I shall answer. I am the Weaver of Time, as I have told you. Though my existence is one that falls behind and yet far exceeds the verb, to be. I am but what I am, and that is task. It is the same for the historian. Chroniclers both are we of the epics of eternity. Perhaps we are one and the same. Task multiplied by 2. Who has made us? I do not know. Why have they done so? I do not know. Am I the beginning? And am I to be the end? Who shall say? Perhaps I am the first thing in creation. Perhaps I am creation. Perhaps I am the creator. Or maybe it is you. You who makes dying stars rekindle. Time alone will tell. Alas, the answers to those questions still elude me. You and Starstone remain the imperfections upon the tapestry. As yet. A hidden answer lies behind this veil of inscrutability, though. For the link between you and the stones reveals that your destinies are intertwined. I believe that Starstones will not lead you to new places of wonder only. No. They will also lead to new knowledge through the restoration of the threads of old. Oh, Hunter, I have no need for company, like I have no need for air or appetite or affection. All I need, and all I am, is time. And time is running out, unless you remedy its decline. And yet, I do enjoy your companionship. For you may prove to become the cure that will heal my slipping soul. Quite so. Your absence, it should be an impossibility, but no matter where I look, you cannot be found. I do not know you, which makes you my one perennial imperfection, a blind spot in the eye of time. But perchance I may be cured of this blindness. Perchance the blemish may be undone, and time can be redeemed. What it is but a seed bereft of sun and water. What it could be, that is what the star stones will tell us. What it is but the end. What it could be is the end of ends. I reside in another realm altogether. But ever since the end of time appeared in these deep dark skies, I materialized here, as if forced to watch the one thing that is unwatchable, unendurable. A thankless task that you may yet free me from forever. I think that perhaps you can redeem time, because you create time. Indeed, you have set in motion an event I no longer held possible. Know that no longer I did weave. I sat here at the end of time and watched on as the void frays the fabric of time like a terrified god that fears the offspring of his own creations. But suddenly there was you. You who stirred the life within the stones. These stones, children of stars, they place new ribbons along my fingers like phantoms out of time. New threads emerged, and I began to weave anew. Starstone gives me new strands to braid into the tapestry. And because you give Starstone energy, it seems that you are creating time. These Starstones, please, seek them so that time may yet be mended. Please, for the sake of all that lives and all that loves, seek them so that the void may yet devour itself alone.
Wow, okay. Let's have a little wander around here. So it doesn't look like there's anything else to see here, does there? Oh, maybe there is. So there's loads of these little... Oh, so this is where the Starstones are going to end up going, isn't it? They're going to go and sit on these hands, I think. Okay, so I think what I may as well do is, so I think let's go to waypoints. And travel back to Sicil.
Source Hunters, I welcome you once again to the realm of Rivellon after your travels through the chasms of space. Nice to have found a shelter, wouldn't you agree? Where you can come to no harm. I know the imp historian has told you about his agent on Rivellon, and that agent is I. So now that you know of the alliance between me and Sir Zigzax, let us turn to the business at hand. Starstone. And I'll be delighted to give it. Dark webs are being woven around these parts, and it is my firm belief starstones are the flies the sorcerer spiders are trying to catch. It can therefore hardly be a coincidence that Councillor Jake was a collector of the stones we seek. His foul murder and the plight of dying time must somehow be interconnected.
Ah, so I do get to go back and investigate the murder. That's
that
good.
means the task you have been given remains crucial. Find the assassin that did away with Jake, for you're bound to stumble upon Starstone along the way. While you were being lectured by our friend the historian and the grande dame of time, I snuck into his house and had a look around. The advantage of being a cat, you know. You go where you please with impunity. And sometimes the lady of the house even rewards you with a slice of fresh herring. That's where I saw them in a cabinet. Mere slivers, but specks of starstones nonetheless. They lay there, silent and innocent, though bloody murder may have been committed in their name. Don't we all long for a sanctuary where our worldly troubles can be held at bay? A bed or a basket so snug it becomes, in a word, safety. But perhaps I speak only for myself, not for veterans such as yourselves that by necessity call any patch of ground they rest upon home. Like any cat worth its salt, though, I deeply cherish a secret refuge unbeknownst to anyone. To be able to repose without a care is such a precious circumstance, savored all too seldomly. Let me phrase it like Zigzags might. A universe without time is like a pen without ink. A pointless instrument stripped of the potential of creation. It is void. It is death. It is nothing. I'll not pretend to have all the answers, or that I understand all that is happening here and out there among the stars, but I do know I'd rather err on the side of caution. If Zigzags worries, I worry. We are talking about a creature, after all, that has reclined among the divines as nonchalantly as you and I laze beside the hearths of home. I met him first, a long time ago, out in the wastes of Youthful Gore. He wondered aloud what on earth a cat was doing out there in the scorching desert, then shared what little food and water he had with him. So I told him who I was and showed him my human form. He laughed and marveled and told me stories about his travels. In the end, he even shared his great sorrow with me. The unspeakable thing you saw through his looking lens. I was awed and frightened, but swore to help him in any way I could. As of now, that includes helping the two of you. Oh, before you go, here, take this teleporter pyramid. A handy toy indeed that Zigzags asked me to give to you. You'll need the other one too if you want to make use of its powers, but alas, I seem to have misplaced it. Don't worry though. Use this one here and it'll take you straight to its twin. Now that this matter has been settled, hunters, I shall detain you no longer. But rest assured, I'll do my share of hunting too. So if you spot a white cat during your travels, do stop to say hello.
Oh, there's my Peppa. Did it sprout?
Oh my gods! What is going on here? First I have to shoo away a creeping white tomcat, and now there's a perfect stranger in my bathroom. Get out, will you?
So I have to use rock, paper, scissors. Okay. Let's go for scissors. Oh no. Oh, she's gonna win. Damn it.
Little mix-up indeed. I don't know what you and that horrible little imp are planning, but leave my bathroom out of it.
That's what you get for trying.
Out! No!
If she
you
soaks in
please.
flower stink much
This
longer,
room is
deer will smell
private.
this lady from a field away. I'll save a leg of something good for when she begins to starve.
Don't just stand there. Go! Away with you! What are you still doing here? Begone!
Okay, so I think there's other places I need to go to, I think. So there's the crime scene, so still got that to do. That's the graveyard.
On the move for cheese. That excuse is more holes than a slice of this fine Coleman there.
Let us see if we can choose the finest grave.
Aaron has as many friends as the man with many cheeses.
I might just go down to there, I think. So I think I can. Oh, that's not what I want to do.
Not in the mood for cheese. That excuse is more.
Salutations! Source hunters, I see. I'm Sergeant Curtius, proud protector of this house of Legion goods. Curtius is my name, the Legion is my calling. This is a storing house for Legion supplies, perhaps the most important building in the realm, by my and others' estimation. And I, Sergeant Curtius, have been trusted to guard it.
Okay, so I can't get in there.
Who can deny that she loves me?
An orc in love. Ha! When this little charm fades, she'll liberate the flesh from our faces.
Come now. Enough doom and gloom. Cast your gaze instead upon my fair, fanged filly.
Ah, who better than a proven orc crusher to convince my dumbbell of a friend here that orcs are predators, not pets?
Enough of that. I know how dangerous an orc can be, but this one has been reformed. Anyone can see that she's completely docile, but my prejudiced friend here still wants to kill her.
Maybe before the great orc raid we had time to indulge Ninius's idiotic obsessions. But now we're needed at our posts. I can hardly believe I've been wasting time protecting an orc when I should be running them through.
Excuse my friend's violent outbursts. He hasn't enjoyed a woman's touch in quite some time now. It makes him a bit edgy.
Your woman's touch is less of a loving caress and more of a claw shanked brutally through the throat. I'll take my chances as a bachelor, thanks.
My friend here and I were patrolling outside the city walls, when who did I see creeping along the shore but this lovely orcish lady? For a brief second, as long as eternity, we locked eyes. Perhaps confused by the butterflies in her stomach, she sprang up and began running, claws bared towards Marius. Fortunately for him, I had the presence of mind to ignore my sword and instead adroitly fling my pouch of trinkets towards her. A vial of love potion shattered over her head, and when she turned to face me, she became instantly enamored. I'm sure she must have been compelled to join the Orcish army under some kind of duress. A lady with such a sweetly savage manner would never willingly join up with those vicious marauders.
Ha! I can assure you there wasn't a hint of sweetness in those murderous eyes when she lunged at my throat. She may be confined here for now, but who's telling when she'll escape and who she'll rip to shreds?
Ah, I've always had an amateur interest in all things alchemical. When I read in an esteemed periodical from the Wizards of Youthful Gore about an amazing opportunity that could change my life, I had to act fast or lose the once-in-a-lifetime deal. I sent away for the world-famous love potion, available for a limited time only, and it has worked exactly as promised.
You see what a fool my friend has been, spending all his cash on snake oil and bringing a temporarily tranquilized monster into our midst to boot.
What kind of monster would lie in a published advertisement? I'm sure the effects of the potion will be everlasting, as printed.
You see, he'd believe it was noon at midnight if he read it on a printed pamphlet. Please tell me you can reason with him, or ditch reason and use your sword to shave him from his murderous darling.
You're right. The information she provides could well turn the tides here in Sicil.
Bravo! I trust not only the potion, but my scaly sweetheart in and of herself.
You're going to regret this. We're all going to regret this.
This place reeks of orc stench.
Avert your gaze and I'll...
Away from there, you pilferer! That room is off limits to the likes of you, so close that door. Good. But do not tempt fate again, or my sword will bring thee justice. This is a storing house for Legion supplies. Perhaps the most important building in the realm, by my and others' estimation. And I, Sergeant Curtius, have been...
Okay. So I can't go in there, so that's not where I need to go. Oh, I do have some soldiers to recruit down here, I think.
So what do they say?
Well, what does it matter? Daylight was more sure
and don't forget the time you got caught passing a love note to the Lizard Councillor's wife.
Have you found us a job yet? We'll take anything. Really. The Fabulous Five, eh? That sounds like just the right opportunity for three brawny buccaneers like us. We'll go right away. Thanks.
Okay, so that's a quest dealt with.
And don't forget the time you got caught passing a love
Size seal, shiver me timbers and sliver me heels.
Well, you see, the gold and silver planets in square aspect suggest a struggle within you. The signs are unclear. Tell me, have you felt Draconis Major interfering with your moon phase in the past fortnight?
Yes, I'm sure of it. Tell it to mind its own business.
Plenty of fish in the sea, but I've got the foulest of them on my hands.
Yes, I'm gonna have to break for lunch too, so I shall come off. But yeah, you go. That's it in a nutshell, really. I mean, apart from that, there's obviously fighting as well. I'm going to see if I can find this. There's somebody else to find. Anyway, right, I'm going to come off, so yes, I should save it. So yeah, thank you for watching.